beautiful beings, and welcome back to the realm of inspiration. In today's video, we are doing a channeling to understand the spiritual significance of the wind, what it is coming here to tell us. Now, long ago, which is like 4 years ago, and it feels like an eternity ago, I did my first channeled text with the Elfian Realm, the untold true story of the Elfian Realm. This is to basically clear any miscommunication of what these spiritual beings are, because they have been misinterpreted and miscommunicated for millennia, of what these actual souls are. And in that text, that is linked in the description of this video, the Elfian Realm communicated that the way that nature communicates to us is essentially angelic Mother Gaia, who is the guardian angel of the earth. It's her way to communicate to us, to let us know what blockages are going on in the earth, what blockages are going on in our own life, what ley lines and imprints need to be cleared. And so what each element represents sort of is a reflection of what must be cleared and cleansed and worked on and understood. Now, when I did, starting to do the spiritual significance of these, the frost and the rain and the wind and all of that, I didn't quite explain it. I was in a very different headspace at the time then, so I'm explaining it now, and I think this will be like one of the last one of these. Maybe we'll go to other weather as well. But the wind was the initial one that I even sat back and I'm like, have I channeled this before? Have I not? Because this was the initial idea that I had. Because the wind is very prevalent where I live. It's always been prevalent where I've lived. It just so happens. I am hoping I'm not bringing it with me where I go. Or I happen to choose to live in locations where it's very windy. And the wind is very heavily associated with the mental body and clarity, which is why I got my selenite, and I also have clear quartz with me as well to bring in that clarity. And there is a certain uprootedness, but sometimes when the wind is very calm and peaceful and it's breezy, there is a groundedness. So there has to be, something a little bit deeper here, because when, you think, there's a lot of times where we feel like, wow, the weather is really reflecting my mood. Wow, the weather is really reflecting the state of the world. Why is that? Now, everything that the Elfian Realm does, they are the beings of inspiration. They are the beings that the Creator created to inspire the cosmos. We have the beings of hope. We have the beings of truth. We have life. We are beings of life. So they were created to inspire us and to create eternal loving friendships using inspiration amongst all of humanity, which is where you get the kind of acronym ELF, Eternal Loving Friends. It is completely the more and more that I channel them, the more that I'm like, this is they're nothing like the misinterpretations. And so if I'm gonna, mention the untold true story of the Elfian Realm in this video, I'm gonna state that as well, because it is very different, and the more that I work with them, the more that I understand that they're just other higher beings, and the way that they've been interpreted because of people with clairvoyancy seeing their soul, seeing how they appear, and also Fall of Atlantis, and so many different things. Check out that one that I did in 2022, that book, for more information. But I think I did a Inspired Awakening about it as well. Anyway, that being said, they always have lots to share. So the Earthian Elfian Elementals of the wind are going to come forth. There are elementals of weather and natural phenomenons. Not natural phenomenons in the sense of how a turtle knows to return to the beach that it was hatched and to lay its eggs. This natural phenomenon that we just know exactly how they do it, but they do it, they imprint. Not this natural phenomenon in the sense of nature, weather, hurricanes, wind, natural storms, wildfires, if they are naturally caused, not if they are man-caused, and that's a whole separate thing. And the wind is a very, very dominant sort of element of the weather. So there's the elements of the weather, the elements of the agriculture, and the elements of just elements. So the wind is obviously related to the elements of air, but it is a little bit deeper than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the intention that today in this video and today in your life, that Archangel Gabriel and his diamond of clarity come and whisk you away and bring forth clarity to every message that we hear today. The diamond of clarity is going to sweep around us like a huge windstorm and bring all the clarity to us, removing the blockages. And remember, when you ask for clarity, do not be upset when it comes. This is a lesson I've had to learn. I learned as the spring was ending, spring was beginning, as the winter was ending and the spring was beginning, as, Mercury retrograde was ending. I learned this, that clarity was being brought to me, and I cannot ignore the clarity that's coming, even if I don't like it. So, what we need to know, not what we want to hear, for our highest good and betterment of our ascension. At the end of the day, the Elfian Realm is working to inspire our ascension journey and inspire us to understand everything that has to do with being a being of life. And they do this for other realms as well. It's creating this symbiotic relationship that we should have with the circle of life, that we should have with nature. We shouldn't be fighting with weather. We shouldn't be fighting with wildlife. We shouldn't be fighting with nature in general. We need to understand that we are here to experience life, not control it. And this is very important. So, we're setting the intention. It's a divine, of course, divine masculine. Mental body is more divine masculine. Emotional body is more divine feminine. Divine masculine. Earthian Elfian Elemental of the wind. Please step forth and give us guidance into understanding the spiritual significance of the wind and any messages that the wind has to share for us at this time. As we are currently into spring, we are moving through this solar year of the fire horse. So what does wind and air, the element of air, because it's a very fire-heavy next couple of years, what does it have to say to help us? How can we ignite our spiritual flame and the flame of truth? And how can we use the wind to remove the fires of deceit? Because there is a positive and negative of everything. We live in a polarity. So, there are the positive fires, and then there are the ones that are destructive. And how can we find the balance between as well? The theme of the year is stability. So this is the time to understand how the wind can bring stability as well. So when I have safely stepped back, you may step forth. Beautiful being, Earthian Elfian Elemental of the wind, divine masculine from the Elfian Realm, beings of divine light, love, and inspiration. Please, divine masculine soul, step forth. Hello. I am a divine masculine, Earthian Elfian Elemental of the wind. I've been working with the wind for a very long time, and you are ready. You are ready, even if it doesn't seem that way. Yes, you don't want to rush things, you don't want to rush into things. Sometimes you need a little push to get along, and that is one of the many things that the wind does. Yes, it comes to clear. It is a cleansing force, especially for the mental body and the etheric energy, your ether, your etheric body, your aura. But it is also coming to push you. Have you ever been walking and the wind is just pushing you in one direction over the other? And it is obviously the natural way that the wind is blowing. Is it going north, south, east, west? That all has significance, which direction it is blowing. The north is more so your connection to your highest self, the mental body. If the wind is pushing you to the north, have you been reflecting and connecting to your highest self? The south is the grounding, the earth star, your connection to the earth, your life, your physical body. If you're being pushed in the direction of the south, have you been anchoring into your body? Is there anything in your body you've been ignoring? The west is more so connected to that emotional center. And if you're pushed to the west, are you understanding your emotions? Now the east is the spiritual. Have you been acknowledging your spirit? If you're ever pushed to the east, think. Highest self is in the mental body. The spiritual body is a little different. You connect to your highest self through your mental body because of the crown chakra and the higher dimensional chakras above the crown. The east being the soul is because the emotional body and the spiritual body, they share a relationship. The emotional body does not exist in the same way in spirit. The spiritual body needs the emotional body when it is incarnating in the physical to go through the life lessons. The emotional body is the way, one of the ways, you also have the mental body as well, but one of the predominant ways that you experience being a being of life and are able to go through your tests, so they're in tandem with each other. Now, the mental and the physical body are related. Mental blockages manifest physically, if you have physical things draining you, it affects your mental. So these are things, they affect each other. So push to the east. Are you connecting to your soul? Your soul is different than the highest self. The highest self is essentially your highest reality. It is what you're working to ascend into by the end. It is the version of you who has completed your missions and purposes. It is the version of you that is ready to move on to the next phases. It is a guiding force. It is essentially your North Star in a different way. You have North Stars as you have dominant guides that work with the highest self as your North Star, because their goal is to help you step into your highest self. So like your spirit animal being one of them, regardless of what the animal is. So you have this. You have understanding the directions of the way that the wind blows. Now at the center, if it's still, and then suddenly you feel a breeze moving through you, and you have a memory. See, the breeze, this soft, calm wind, is coming to resurge memories that you might have hidden within. This is the Akashic body. This is the inner child. This is the center. You are centered by your life experiences in every lifetime and in this lifetime. They create you. Now you think that your identity in this incarnation is just solely your identity in this incarnation, but you are a culmination of every lifetime. Affects your character, affects your experiences, affects what you go through, affects the inner child, everything. Every past life experience has made you who you are, has made your personality the personality you've had since birth. How could you have a personality since you were born if you've never experienced life before? Think about this, really think about this. Think about the kids that have such unique personality, and every time everyone says this, they have lived life before. For every child, someone has said, wow, they're a little old man, they're a little old woman, they have lived before. Of course they have. Because that starts shaping your true identity, not the ego identity. Your true identity is a culmination of the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, your past experiences before this lifetime. You step in to who you are in this lifetime. You gain inner child experiences to understand. You might, even if you integrate with your inner child, you will still have the inner child because you all have the maternal and paternal divine energy within you and the masculine and feminine divine energy within you. So here's to note. So the masculine and the divine paternal energy within you is north and south. The divine maternal and the divine feminine energy within you is east and west. Feminine is spiritual. Maternal is emotional. Paternal is mental. And divine masculine is physical. You see how they're all working together, creating balance. And when you are balanced, you have stability. You have the yin-yang in the middle. This is who you are. The wind pushes you in the directions that you need to go to understand who you are. So I'm talking north wind, south wind, east wind, west wind. All different types of winds with this purpose. To help inspire, guide, help you understand who you are. So we've got this out of the way. We've got the compass out of the way. The compass is very important. Now, wind also can help you understand divine timing. Wind is a way to tell time. You've been taught to tell time by the sun, and we oftentimes use the moon, but when a heavy wind comes, and you're going through something, you need time to process. Or it's very calm and you feel that stability and you're like, now would be the time to go and have an adventure and feel the thrill of life. If you use the wind and the strength of the wind to guide how long you do things. So, the stronger the wind, the more time you need to look within. The calmer the wind, the more to enjoy the life that you're incarnating to live. So, this is something to keep in mind. The stronger the wind is, the more you focus on healing. You go inside, you hermit. The calmer it is, just a little light breeze, that is calling you to experience life. If you're looking for time telling from nature, from the earth, this is a way. This is a way to know. It is a constant balance between healing and understanding who you are inside and expressing yourself in the world. You express when it's calm because you're able to understand yourself more. Because you took the chaos period, so the wind is never chaotic, but you see it this way, so the chaos period to process so you can enjoy. Don't force things. Of course, go out in the wind so you can see which direction it's pushing you, so you can know what you need to focus on healing, what you need to focus on understanding and connecting to. Sometimes it's just neglecting a part of yourself. You have 5 main parts of yourself, but there are more. You have the little minor communication section. So, this is wind over water. You think communication, wouldn't be water, emotional would be water, but actually, wind over water is more so related to communication because you have to let it flow. And a lot of the communication blocks come more so from the heart. And then the wind is already connected to the air, so that's the mental. There you go. Now, if you have your celestial body, so this is like the deeper nighttime winds. When you go out at night and you see the stars and it's really windy, that's connecting to the cosmos, wind pushing you to connect. It's one of those pushes where it's a strong gust of wind at night, and then it calms, and you look up and you see the stars. Connecting. It's different layers. It's deeper. So when my Elfian healer friends will come and communicate one day about the body systems and the different types and different things, as something I'm not an expertise at necessarily, you'll understand more and more about this. And the wind is an important element, an important factor of everything. Everything. It's not just a cleansing. It's not just clarity. It is the overall uprooting of the negative and pushing you in the direction of the positive. It is the combination of the feeling of feeling light, like you're on air, like you're etheric, like you're connecting to the divine, and the balance of being grounded and stable. The wind represents this duality. The wind represents the yin and the yang in a sense, and this stability, which is why this is the divine timing to speak about it. This is the important things for you to know in regards to the wind. And another thing to keep in mind is, if you start communicating with nature, you meditate and you ask the wind, or the elementals of the wind, for guidance and support, you can trade with the universe. If there's something a period of time you need to heal and you need extra support, Angelic Mother Gaia, can you send some wind my way to help support me during this time? It's, even more powerful, to do it outside, of course. You can do this with anything. For support. Not storms. Let's be clear here. Like rain, snow, wind, calmer things. We're not telling you to summon a tornado, because that's different. That's more intense work. That's different. That's more so on nature and Angelic Mother Gaia to have control over when that is needed for the earth, from when this happens. But the wind, the rain, the snow, these things, the sunny days, these things you can ask for to aid you. So there's the different aspects. The more intense side of things, I mean, unless you want some intense uprooting, go ahead, but we do not recommend. We do not recommend. We recommend working with the wind, working with the rain, working with the snow, working with the calmer side of things to at least understand your energetic symbiotic relationship with how weather and nature works. And even like with the trees, if there's certain trees, if you go to a tree, you ask for the wind to come to help enhance the power that that tree has. Every tree works with a specific thing. So you have different ones. If you have like your record trees are where stored knowledge is. So if you want to remember things from the past lives, or if you're in the sea and you also would like to remember, in the sea it will be calmer. So if you're in the sea and you're wanting to remember, maybe you stored some wisdom with the ancient guardians of wisdom, the octopuses. These are very, very powerful beings. So say you did this and you're swimming in the sea and you want to remember. So it'll be more of like a calm little wave, little waves, little waves, little waves, helping you remember, helping you feel calm so you can connect. So you have that clarity come to you. In the water, the wind works to bring that calm, to bring clarity. When you are connecting to the trees and you're walking, a bit of a stronger gust of wind can bring some more clarity because it really calms the mind. It's all about calming the mind. In the water, your mind's a bit calmer, so the wind doesn't have to work as hard most of the time, and unless there are some fears that you have related to being in the water. But in general, salt water and the aquatic realm is a bit more peaceful. If you ever feel at unease in any case, you call on divine tranquility, and divine tranquility can use the breeze to help bring you peace as well. So this is what you must know at this time. We will leave you now, beautiful beings. Until next time, we hope that the petals of the flower of inspiration lead you back to our realm again, and may you be inspired to fix and enhance your relationship with the world around you in the physical and non-physical. Whoa. Very interesting. I got about half of that. I remember about half of that. With channeling, if you're new here, I, most of the time, don't remember. I remember what's important for me to hear. So it's very, very, interesting. I feel like grounding, clearing energy. It's very, very interesting. Lots of very fun visuals of nature, and I don't think any of them held, super significance to what the message was. Aside from the fact, like, it just kind of felt like I was seeing where this elemental works, what this elemental does, kind of like, in a weird way, seeing the day-to-day of the beyond the veil of this elemental, like being by the sea, being by the trees, and when it's time for the wind to do some work, kind of calling it and inspiring it to move. It's really also about not being afraid of the world around us, and having faith, trusting that you are protected. And if there is anything I have learned recently is you're not gonna transition out of this lifetime before you are supposed to, and your guardian angels do work in divine and beautiful ways to help. So there is nothing to fear when the divine is near. So just remember that. And I had, moments of this, of like I was feeling unbalanced, and I'm just asking for my ancestors and my guides to help me, and it ends up saving my life in a sense. So there is nothing to fear, and we must not ever fear nature or ever feel like nature is working against us. And I can hear some agreement from the animals below my apartment. I hear some animal noises and feel the sense of them confirming that message, and feeling very happy for this message, feeling very excited for it to be shared. So hopefully this resonated with you in some way. And until next time, sending you love, light, and inspiration. Stay inspired, beautiful beings. Goodbye for now.